The Titanic was a giant. It was a marvel of engineering and design, a true testament to human ingenuity and ambition. It was the biggest ship anyone had ever seen, towering over other vessels in the harbor. Its sheer size was awe-inspiring. It took many people to build this giant ship. Thousands of skilled workers, from engineers to laborers, dedicated their time and effort. They worked for years to put it all together, meticulously assembling each part to ensure it was perfect. The Titanic was made of strong steel, designed to withstand the harsh conditions of the open sea. It had big engines and tall smokestacks, which were state-of-the-art for its time, providing the power needed for its long voyages. People said it was like a floating city. It had luxurious amenities, including grand dining rooms, elegant cabins, and even a swimming pool. Everyone was so excited to see the Titanic sail. Crowds gathered to witness its maiden voyage, filled with anticipation and wonder. They dreamed of the places it would go, imagining the adventures and new horizons it would bring. The Titanic was built to take people across the ocean, promising a journey of comfort and luxury. It was going from England to America, a transatlantic journey that many had longed to experience. People couldn't wait to sail on this amazing ship. They eagerly boarded, ready for the adventure of a lifetime. They knew it would be a special journey, one that they would remember forever. The builders made sure the Titanic was strong and beautiful, paying attention to every detail to ensure its grandeur. They wanted it to be the best ship in the world, a symbol of human achievement and craftsmanship. And when it was finished, it was. The Titanic stood as a magnificent creation, ready to make history. Finally, it was time to sail. People came from all over to board the Titanic. Some were rich and famous, but most were ordinary people. There were families going to start new lives. There were children excited to see the ocean. And everyone was looking forward to the journey. The Titanic had fancy dining rooms and swimming pools. It even had a gym and a library. There was something for everyone on this incredible ship. The journey started smoothly. The Titanic sailed across the ocean, and everyone was having a good time. But then, something happened that no one expected. One fateful night, the Titanic, the grandest ship of its time, sailed into an area filled with icebergs. The night was dark and the sea was calm, but hidden dangers lurked in the icy waters. Icebergs are giant chunks of ice that float in the ocean. They are remnants of glaciers, and only a small part of them is visible above the water, making them even more treacherous. These icebergs can be very dangerous for ships, especially those traveling at high speeds. The Titanic, despite its size and strength, was not immune to these natural hazards. The lookout on the Titanic, perched high above, suddenly saw a huge iceberg straight ahead. The massive chunk of ice loomed ominously in the ship's path. He shouted a warning to the bridge, but it was too late. The crew scrambled to change course, but the ship's momentum was too great. The Titanic collided with the iceberg, the impact sending a shudder through the entire vessel. The sound of the collision echoed through the night. The iceberg tore a massive hole in the Titanic's side, compromising its watertight compartments. The damage was catastrophic. Water started rushing into the ship at an alarming rate, flooding the lower decks and causing chaos among the passengers and crew. People were scared, their faces pale with fear, but the captain and crew tried to stay calm, organizing the evacuation and reassuring the passengers. They sent frantic messages for help, hoping that another ship would hear their distress signals and come to their aid. The radio operator tirelessly sent out SOS calls, but the Titanic was sinking fast and time was running out. The lifeboats were launched, but there were not enough for everyone. The tragedy of the Titanic had begun. Section 4. To the rescue. The Titanic had lifeboats, but not enough for everyone on board. Women and children were put on the lifeboats first. The lifeboats were lowered into the cold, dark water. People on the lifeboats watched as the Titanic slowly sank into the ocean. It was a very sad moment. After a while, another ship called the Carpathia heard the Titanic's calls for help. The Carpathia raced to the rescue and saved the people in the lifeboats. The sinking of the Titanic was a terrible tragedy. Many people lost their lives that night. Section 5. Remembering the Titanic. The story of the Titanic is still told today. It reminds us that even the biggest and strongest ships can sink. We remember the people who sailed on the Titanic, both those who survived and those who didn't. Their stories teach us about courage and hope. Today there are museums and memorials dedicated to the Titanic. People can learn about the ship, the people on board, and the lessons we learned from the disaster. The Titanic will always be a part of history. It's a story that teaches us about safety, courage, and the importance of remembering the past. Section 6. Learning from the Titanic. The sinking of the Titanic taught us some important lessons that have shaped maritime safety standards for over a century. One of the biggest lessons was about safety at sea, emphasizing the need for better preparedness and equipment. After the Titanic sank, people realized that ships needed more lifeboats, enough for everyone on board, and better training for emergencies. They also started paying more attention to icebergs and other dangers in the ocean, understanding the importance of vigilance and early detection. Today, ships have radar and other advanced technology to help them avoid icebergs and navigate safely through treacherous waters. They also have regular safety drills to make sure everyone knows what to do in an emergency, ensuring that both crew and passengers are well prepared. The Titanic may be gone, but its story continues to teach us about the importance of safety, the need for constant vigilance, and the power of human courage in the face of danger. Its legacy lives on in the improved safety measures and the enduring spirit of those who sail the seas today.